My name is Gideon Rothschild. I'm a postdoc in Lauren Frank's lab here at UCSF at Mission Bay campus. So in the lab, generally we study learning and memory. And everybody knows what learning and memory is. We constantly form memories from our everyday experiences. And what we try to do specifically in this lab is to try and really nail down neural mechanisms that underlie memory formation, consolidation, and retrieval. We are constantly surrounded with stimuli, sounds, visions, odors, tastes, but only a very small fracture of these stimuli are encoded for long-term storage. If I ask you about yesterday, what happened yesterday, you'll only be able to report a small fraction of that. And the question is, what determines this information storage and how this information is stored for the long term? What determines which information is stored, and then hunting for the neural mechanisms underlying this process. So I'm born and raised in Israel. I always did have a strong curiosity about people and about behavior, but I think it was only after I took a couple of neuroscience courses that I realized that all these behaviors, which me and I guess everybody is very curious about, decision making, aggression, compassion, all of these things are not just kind of given phenomena, they actually have identified neural mechanisms. And even maybe because we don't fully understand them, I suddenly realized that there's a huge challenge here to try and nail down the neural mechanisms underlying for all these animal and human behaviors. So you can kind of divide the research life, at least mine, into a few stages. The first, I guess, 6 months or a year, or maybe less if you're really good, is to trying to realize what you want to do and what is feasible and what has not been studied already. The second stage, which is basically running experiments. And then the whole of the motivation and all your kind of resources going into doing the perfect experiment. So there are a lot of technical details there. You try to fine-tune and optimize numerous parameters that determine the quality of the data you're going to get eventually. Once you've done that, we at least go into the analysis stage. So then you have the data, but now you have to, basically try to understand what is in there. You have terabytes and terabytes of data, and you're trying to see what is the most interesting phenomena in there. And it's a huge and very interesting stage, which I really love. And then, once you have the story, which you think best describes your results, then the idea is to publish. And that by itself is a challenge. People with post-traumatic stress disorder are basically haunted by memories from the past, and in a way that has a very bad effect on their everyday lives. If we understand how memory works, what trace and where in the brain keeps coming up and interrupting with their everyday life, then that would open the possibility to intervene and alleviate. And I think we're at the stage where these things are starting to come true. But not only illnesses. I mean, you can also come up with ideas of trying to improve memory formation. So, for example, if you have a big exam next week, and this is the time to be concentrated and to really focus all your attention and what we call encoding capacities, then maybe we can come up with techniques or maybe even in the future medications for facilitating that process. Memory is so central in our everyday lives that even small steps that help us better understand how memory works will have huge impact on lives of people, either ill or healthy. And this, it can be frustrating, it can take time, but I think it's extremely rewarding in the end when you actually have a strong belief that you uncovered something that was not known before. I think that's a very rewarding feeling.